Hey guys, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. I know I probably look like a crazy person. I've been outside chasing the dogs and I was going to record later, not right now, but a lot has happened and I wanted to go ahead and jump on here and kind of share it with you. So excuse how I look. Tooth's still not fixed, so there's that. But yeah, so a lot kind of started happening yesterday evening, last night, and then as I was loading everything on my computer to come on, I got a notification from Adventures with Purpose that they had released their trailer for their Kylie video, and it kind of ties in with everything that's going on, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that now for you in case you haven't seen it yet, and I want to hear your thoughts about it. So here we go with that.
A mother is missing her 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah, tomorrow marks 2 weeks since the Truckee teenager disappeared after attending a party at a campground.
She was either hungover or just had a really rough day. She looked distressed.
When do you think that this took place? Parked his van right here, facing that direction. Her vehicle was parked right over here. I have set a radius of 10 miles around Prosser Creek Reservoir. We're going to work hard to clear Stampede, Independence, Boca, and Prosser Creek, all within that 10-mile range. I've just located in the corner of this cove here a target that I cannot identify. 18 different agencies, over 19,000 man-hours have been put into this. I'm a firm believer in second chances. However, some things don't deserve forgiveness. Taking the life of a 16-year-old deserves zero forgiveness.
There, you see that?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense though. It's only 10 feet of water. We definitely have something man-made. If this is her, you know, this means all hope is lost as far as her still being out there, her being found safe.
What would you want to say to Kylie tonight?
I love her so much. So many people love her. And we're all looking and we're trying so hard, and I'm so sorry we haven't found you yet, but we're not giving up, and just hang in there, sweetie, because we'll find you soon. Bring you home.
I don't want to find her. I want to be able to clear all this water and be able to tell the family she's not here. She's not here. Our job is to be here to find the where.
Confirm. I see the vehicle and the license plate. We have just found Kylie's vehicle. Over.
All right, so yeah, quite a trailer, right? I don't know if I can wait till September 2nd to watch it. I may go ahead and watch it today. I don't think, like, I may comment on what they say in it, but sorry if you hear the dogs. Pablo brought in a big bone, and Wreck the puppy wants it, and now I think I hear Baker grumbling, so I apologize. Anyway, I may comment on it, but I'm not gonna probably show any clips. That's Baker. Because it is for members only, so if you want to see the video now, if you can't wait, then go over to their YouTube page and subscribe and become a member, and you can watch it. But like I said, I don't feel like, even under fair use, that I'm going to put a lot of clips out there, just because that is for people that pay their memberships. So after it comes out on September 2nd, we can dive into it a little more and discuss. But it's interesting how they put it about, somebody that does something to a 16-year-old girl doesn't deserve second chances, and how they put in the title murder or accident. So it kind of goes back to a lot of what we discussed yesterday. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, we got into a lot of thoughts, theories, rumors, speculation. So I would honestly recommend going back and watching it, because we covered a lot. And one of the things that we talked about is, what did AWP see while they were down there? And why was law enforcement so quick to tell them to get out? And it's just, this whole case has been a ride, right? And I feel like we are just in for more of the roller coaster ride as we go, because every day there's something. And I am aware, I've had a lot of people contact me about Sheriff Wu from Prosser County. Not going to get into that in this video, because I want to research it a little more and see how much more information I can get and actually verify. But he was accused of some improper conduct, let's say, with a minor. Well, that's kind of part of what I want to verify. I've heard she's 18. And now he's the sheriff. And so it sounds like there's some corruption going on in Prosser. I guess the person that kind of cleared him, that said that the allegations were unfounded, is basically the person under him, or the person that hired him, or something to that effect, moved him up into his current position as sheriff. And allegedly, Sheriff Wu's son attended the party the night Kiely disappeared. So there's a lot of questions there. That's all I'm really going to say right now, until I have more concrete evidence to support what I'm seeing. So stay tuned for that. If I find out anything, I will definitely bring it to you, because that feeds into another thing we touched on yesterday, why Prosser, it seemed to really be heading up the pressers, and then after Kiely was found, Prosser just kind of disappeared and Nevada County took over. Why isn't there still the collaboration between the two departments that were running the investigation together? I just figured Prosser kind of handed it off since she was found in Nevada County, but now there's questions. So like I said, I will dig into all of that. But today I want to talk about this big controversy of who told who what when. That's really the best way I can put it. There's a lot out there about, who did Adventures with Purpose tell, how the notification of Kiely being found, or Kiely's car being found, was handled as far as the family goes. So, I have nothing but respect for Adventures with Purpose, for everything they do. I have been following them way before this case came along. And normally, as I've said in the past, they do cold cases. Some of them are just a few years old. And like I said, some of them go back decades. And they've solved, I want to say it's 23. It's 20-something cases. And in these cases, of course, the family still doesn't want, that confirmation, to lose that hope that their person isn't out there in the world somewhere. But at the same time, I think they're kind of a little more prepared for the news than, say, Kiely's family probably was. you know, it's not quite as fresh. You never get over it. You know, my dad died 12 years ago, and my mom died 4 years ago. My sister-in-law died last year, and even after all of that time, you know, grief still kicks me in the ass. And I can honestly say that I will probably never, quote unquote, be over it. I think when you love someone so much that you never truly get over that loss. And in grief, a lot of times there is, you just want to blame somebody, you know, like my parents, my dad, he had a rare cancer, and there was nothing that could be done, but I was still pissed. And, you know, I lashed out at the doctors, especially. When my mom passed, it was kind of unexpected. I had been with her the day before, and we had gone to the doctor, and then the next morning she had to call an ambulance, and she went to the hospital, and she never recovered. So I say unexpected because I was with her the night before and she was fine. But you know, she had illnesses. She, you know, she was 80, so she had illnesses, but still, you know, I was pissed. Like, I was pissed at myself. I was, you know, you just want to blame somebody for what's happening to you. You want to just lash out. The anger is crazy. And I get that her family is grieving, and I can't imagine that grief because I've never lost someone that close to me in this manner. And as hard as it was losing my parents to illnesses, I cannot imagine, and especially your 16-year-old daughter. I would never claim to be able to comprehend that. I can only speak on what I've gone through, and I know how angry I was. You know, like with my dad, it took me 4 years before I ever quit blaming myself for decisions that had to be made. And they weren't made just by me. They were made by me and my mom, but I still blame myself, you know. It's part of the human condition. It's what we do. So I understand the anger. What I'm trying to say is a lot of times we misplace that anger. And I think, especially the soon after losing someone, I think to an extent all of us understand that when a person's grieving and they lash out at you, you kind of get it. Like, you know, it's not you that they're pissed at. They're just pissed at the situation. They are just pissed in general about what has happened and what they're going through. So my best friend Steph, hi again, Steph. Steve's watching Young and the Restless, by the way. I know you love to hear that. My best friend Steph, she sent me a message last night and was like, have you seen this? And I hadn't. So thank you, Steph, for keeping me on my toes. Like, I'm working, gosh, I don't know, 5 or 6 different cases right now. And I just had 2 new ones kind of dropped in my lap that I was digging into when she sent me this. So thank her for being on the ball and keeping me on the ball. So she sent me this that Kylie's mom had posted. And like I said, I get it, you're grieving. So let's just read this. It says, let it be known that Adventures with Purpose has not contacted me or Tony, that's Kylie's stepdad, a single time throughout this ordeal. Not to offer condolences, not when the car was discovered, not once. I'm so tired of hearing how wonderful they are when all they have done is make a spectacle out of my daughter's death on their quest to make themselves heroes. They are not, and will never be, my hero. This is meant to be our story, not theirs. Please do not give them the pen or allow them authorship. So I kind of want to just go through this and break it down. Normally, when Adventures with Purpose is working a case, like I said, it's normally a cold case. And the families are usually right there watching them as they work. And normally, like I said, when they find a vehicle, they know the tag they're looking for, but they will still pull the tag off the car, and they usually bring it up with them just to kind of verify. And they talk to the families right then and there. And they are always so professional, so respectful, because, you know, this impacts them too. Think about, this is your job and this is what you do every day, is recovering bodies in vehicles underwater, and then you have to tell the family that yes, they are in fact gone. They aren't out there in the world somewhere. So I even saw one case where the daughter was not there. It was really sad. They were looking, I don't know if it was her dad or her uncle or who, but they were looking for a family member for her, and her mom passed. And the day they found the car was either the day before or the day of her mom's funeral. So she was not there, and they didn't want her to find out from somebody else. They wanted, you know, to make sure they were there with her, to comfort her, to explain things to her. So they went to her house and they sat down with her and talked through everything. So, as we talked about yesterday, Stephen Fisher is a private investigator who has been and still is close with Kyly's grandfather. Kyly's grandfather, who is Kyly's mom's dad, and Kyly's biological dad were there at the Prosser campground reservoir area. And Steve heard that they had found the car. Steve told the dad and the grandpa, and they went over, even Adventures with Purpose in their videos said they were there within minutes. And there's a picture, put that up real quick. So this is her dad. I think, I can't confirm, but I think the guy in the brown hat is probably not Nick, on the other side, kind of behind the dad, is probably the grandpa. And you can see Adventures with Purpose are there. We see Doug and we see Nick from behind. And I imagine this is probably when he was told. It's just anguish on his face. So he knew that the car had been found and that there were remains inside. So the grandpa and the dad knew. Now, I feel, and I wasn't there, so I don't know. So this is all just kind of speculation, based on what I've seen, how I've seen Adventures with a Purpose deal with families before. So the mom says that Adventures with Purpose has not contacted her or her husband a single time throughout this ordeal. Now, Adventures with Purpose, when they find a car, one of them immediately calls law enforcement, because after that, they're hands off. It's law enforcement investigation, right? So they do stay and offer their assistance with hooking up the car, or, you know, using the flotation bags or whatever to help get the car out of the water. But they're hands off. As soon as they identify the vehicle, they call law enforcement and they take it from there. So to be fair, Adventures with Purpose is under no obligation to be contacting anybody other than like the dad and the grandpa. They were right there. So, of course, they're going to say something to them. And the only people they're obligated to call is law enforcement, which they did. So, the fact that they haven't contacted the mom and the stepdad, to me, I mean, the mom and the stepdad were not there. They were not on scene. You know, hindsight's always 2020. You know, will Adventures with Purpose look back on this and say maybe we should have called them as well? You know, I mean, there's always lessons to be learned from everything in life, right? And like I said, this is a fresh case. This isn't a cold case. This is like, you know, a whole new thing for them, you know, a whole different kind of situation to navigate. So, she says that, you know, they didn't offer their condolences. Now, as soon as I read that, the first thing I thought was, I am absolutely positive when they were talking with the dad and the grandpa that they offered their condolences. And I feel like if it wasn't said verbatim, it was implied that their condolences were to the whole family. So if the grandpa or the dad neglected to pass that along to Lindsay and Tony, that's not really on Adventures with Purpose. And when they did their really short update right after, like the day after or 2 days after they found the car, I'll have to go back and watch it, but I think that they offered their condolences in that video. So she says that she's tired of hearing how wonderful they are when all they have done is make a spectacle out of my daughter's death on their quest to make themselves heroes. And again, I know she's grieving, but they are wonderful. And if not for Adventures with Purpose, sadly, I feel like Kylie would still be in the water, because the divers had been out there. They said they had used a submersible ROV in the water to look, and they didn't find her. And she was right where her phone last pinged. So, like I said, that kind of upsets me, because they do a lot of wonderful work. They do it for free. And they don't ask for anything in return. And I don't feel like they've made a spectacle out of her daughter's death. Making videos is what they do. And they try to educate us on how these things happen and how we can keep ourselves, you know, out of this danger. How, if we end up in that situation, how we can save ourselves. You know, I feel like what they're doing here is kind of what I've been saying. We need to look at this and how can we learn from this tragedy that happened to Kylie, whether it be an accident or foul play. If it was an accident, you know, what can we take from this, and how can we apply it in our own lives, like with our children? And I don't feel like they're on a quest to make themselves heroes. They never describe themselves as heroes. They like to be able to bring closure and resolution to families that have had questions for so long. But They don't make themselves out to be heroes. They never have. And she says they're not and will never be her hero, and that's fine. Because yeah, it would be hard to look at a person, you know, if somebody finds your child and they're alive, then you're going to say, yeah, they're a hero. You know, they brought me my child, they saved my child. But when they find your child in the situation that they found Kylie, yeah, I can see where, you know, you're not going to automatically be like, oh, they're my hero. I get it, because it's not the conclusion or the outcome that you wanted. But at the same time, it goes back to, they did bring you your daughter, whereas she may still be in that water because it was searched and they were told they didn't need to search there, but using their better judgment, they decided to go ahead and search anyway. The search had been scaled back, and without that water going down considerably more, and I don't know how long that would take, she may not have been found for quite some time. So, you know, they may not be her hero. They don't want to be anybody's hero. And this is meant to be our story, not theirs. And it is, and it will always be Kiely Rodni's family's story. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to address that, and how I felt about it. Like I said, I get being angry and lashing out, but I kind of feel like this is a little misplaced anger towards them. And I hope that Adventures with Purpose can see that she is grieving and she is angry about what happened. And this isn't like probably a personal attack on them, even though it sounds like it is. But so I don't even know where to start here. So let's start with this one. This is a post. Crap. Sorry. Computer and me are fighting today. I'm not gonna read all of it, but there is a statement from Kylie's grandfather, and it's regarding like the who told who, when, what, you know, situation. So he, on Tuesday, August 30th, 2022 at 8:39 p.m., the grandfather said, as far as notification goes, the facts speak for themselves. AWP posted on Facebook, you, meaning Stephen Fisher, told Dan, her dad, and I. We then visited the red buoy. AWP told all three of us their findings. David. So that's how that happened. And if you remember yesterday, I had put up a statement where the grandfather had written this beautiful letter thanking everybody involved in finding Kylie. And he specifically mentioned Adventures with Purpose, and that, you know, they would be forever grateful, thankful, I can't remember the exact wording, to everyone that was involved. So it doesn't sound like he's angry with them. And then there was this post. So this is from Stephen Fisher, and it says, since Coffendorfer, if you don't know who that is, it's Jennifer Coffendorfer, she's a former FBI agent, is suggesting I'm a fraud and wasn't the one put in a horrible position to notify Kylie's father and grandfather, and instead is accusing me, I will tell the actual truth. Adventures with Purpose never notified either parent. Her mother learned from a waitress at a sushi restaurant, and that is horrible. I can't imagine learning that kind of news from a waitress. But I lay that at the feet of law Law enforcement should have contacted all of the parents, the mom, the dad, the stepdad. If they were aware that the dad was already there, then law enforcement absolutely should have called her mom. Absolutely. Again, I don't blame Adventures with Purpose. That's not their job. Their job is to find the vehicle, contact law enforcement. They did that. Law enforcement should have notified her mom, not a waitress at a sushi restaurant. And then it says the waitress read it on social media. I was informed by DX the Mystery, who is also on Twitter, who read it on the Adventures with Purpose social media, and then I was forced to tell the father and grandfather. Those are the facts. Jennifer forced those to be disclosed. Blame her, Adventures with Purpose. We were going to be quiet about it. So, there's that. And then, let's see. Oh, here I still have the grandfather's statement from yesterday. So, I'm not going to go over it all again, but this part here, it says it took an army of individuals to find her. From backcountry hikers to the FBI, divers, the tow truck operator, print shops, sheriffs, police, Homeland Security, and ultimately the Adventures with Purpose team who found her. Collectively, we all made it happen. Everyone volunteered their skills, stood up for Kylie, and hit the pavement running. In the end, we found her, and it was signed, "We are forever indebted to you." So, to me, it sounds like he's grateful for anyone and everyone that helped in absolutely any way. And then the one last thing that I wanted to put up here, if you remember in yesterday's video, I had shared the mom had put up a post that they were going to have a gathering on September 10th for Kylie and that the public was welcome. Well, today, Stephen Fisher put up, "Evil exists. Today I witnessed an attack on a grieving mother that resulted in her having to remove the community invitation to her 16-year-old daughter's memorial service." So on her Facebook, on the mom's Facebook, it has been removed. Pretty much everything's been removed. Her profile picture has been changed, and I think there's only like 4 pictures up there. One of Kylie on skis. And that's really sad because I know the community probably really wanted to come together. I don't know if it's still going to happen. I will keep an eye on that. But yeah, it's a lot. A lot of the blame game and pointing fingers, and like I said, who told who what when. In the end though, like I said, I feel like a lot of this anger, instead of being pointed at Adventures with a Purpose, I wish it was being pointed more towards law enforcement not informing the mom. Because like I said, the dad and the grandpa were on scene. And if not law enforcement, then, the grandpa, who is Kylie's mom's dad, it would have even been better coming from him or her ex-husband. So, I guess when it comes down to the notification, there's plenty of finger pointing and blame to go around. But in the end, the way the mom found out is terrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Whether this ends up being foul play or an accident, in the end, it is still the tragic loss of a 16-year-old girl. And we need to remember that. So, take it easy on Adventures with Purpose. I don't want this to discourage them. I think it's great that they stepped up to help in this active case and they were able to find her so quickly. They helped with the active case of Julissa Fuentes, and they were able to clear the water. I hope this doesn't discourage them for using their skills on active cases in the future. But I'm sure they will step back and look at things from a different perspective, and they'll learn how to navigate it if they do continue to do active cases. But don't stop showing them love, because they do incredible things. And don't be too hard on the mom. Try to remember this is a grieving family that lost their daughter, and under the best of circumstances, it would have been a nightmare. And let's just hope that they find some peace, that they have the strength to face everything that's coming. But let's all give them some grace. They deserve that from us right now. Keep them in your prayers. They need it. And we'll keep an eye on everything and see, what happens next. Like I said, I may watch the video, but I'm not going to show any clips or anything until it's been released to everybody, because I don't feel like that is technically fair use. But thank y'all for stopping by and spending a little bit of your day with me to learn about, the new stuff that's going on in this case. And like I said, let's just all have a little grace with everyone in our life. We all deserve that. We all deserve grace and understanding, especially when someone's going through a difficult time. So please give this a thumbs up to help boost it in the algorithm so more people can see it and maybe understand a little bit better what's going on. Share it on your social media. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. We're a great little growing community here, and I think together we're going to do great things for a lot of people. So subscribe and click the bell to all so you'll get notified every time I upload a video. And y'all have a great day. As always, I will see you in the next one.